Thanks for tuning in to Raising Bosses. I'm your host, Shauna J. Ray. Here on this podcast, we discuss changing our mindsets, growing a business while raising a family. If that's what you're interested in or currently doing, please stay tuned for what we have ahead. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into Raising Bosses. Today, I have with me Tiffany Tyson and Alika Elise of Your Bold Birth of Central Florida. They are both lactation consultants and birth and postpartum doulas, and they're here to share their story with us today. Thank you all for joining me today.
Hello. Thank you for having us. Yes.
Thank you so much. So I just wanted to start off by asking you guys to tell me and my listeners a little bit more about yourselves. I know you guys, you all were lactation consultants at WIC, and y'all helped me through. Tiffany was my personal lactation consultant, and Alika, I was in your group on Facebook. So I know a little bit, but my listeners would love to know more.
Well,
whoever wants to start first.
I'll start. My name is Tiffany. I am a CLC, a Certified Lactation Counselor of Birth and Postpartum Doula. I'm also a mother of 3, homeschool mom, and a wife, and a seamstress, and everything else. What else did you want to know? I'm sorry.
Oh, just telling my listeners about yourself. Anything you wanted to share before we get into the deeper questions?
Okay. Yeah, that was it. That's a lot.
No, right?
Yeah. Okay, I'm Alika, and as you said, I am a IBCLC, Internationally Board Certified Lactation Consultant, and birth and postpartum doula. We did both work at WIC. As peer counselors. Yeah. We started our journey with WIC and decided to branch off independently after paying our dues, but we're still very well connected with the health department, so we do a lot of community work still. I'm a mother of 5 and a wife, and just doing a lot and just trying to maintain
amazing
our business and get our name out there, so people know. Even if we're not at WIC, we're still there in the community. Still willing to help our WIC moms. We were WIC moms ourselves. So it takes being on the other side of the table to understand what's really needed. And because we've been on both sides, we kind of are able to fill that void. And understand that it's needed.
I love that. I love that. Y'all are very well known. I know that, like I said earlier, anybody that mentions like lactation consultants, they know the name Alika in Florida. I know a lot of my friends know your name or in your groups. And Tiffany helped me a lot. I mean, a lot when I was nursing my second, and you had just had you were pregnant with your second.
Yeah, I was pregnant.
I believe. Yeah, that's what it was. And I was like, I felt so warm. It was warm and welcoming to go there. I was excited to go see her, you know what I mean? And any questions, problems, or anything like that, y'all were amazing. So I just want to I know personally from personal experience, so I can only imagine how you guys are as doulas. I love it. So I know y'all do a lot, but what were you doing before you started working for yourselves besides WIC, or maybe an elaboration when you started with WIC?
For me, I started at WIC when my firstborn was about 1. I started doing it because I noticed that I needed a lot of support, and my thing was when I did go to WIC or when I go to locations, there was a lot of people who didn't look like me, and I had a hard time connecting with those who didn't look like me. I'm coming from a family who I'm the first person who breastfed. I'm the first person who had a home birth and different things. I was the oddball, so I needed to have that support. And so when I went to WIC and I found my community, I learned that I figured out that I need to be in that community as well, because there's a lot of people that look like me who doesn't have that support. So when I started working at WIC, I enjoyed dealing with that because it was my community. The those who don't get that information because we didn't have that much money, or we didn't hit that type of um, financial bracket. So because we were different financially, we couldn't. There wasn't any resources other than WIC. So I appreciate that space. It was great for me as well as my family. So for me, it was I for, before WIC, I'm prior military. I'm a Army veteran, and I could never find what I was interested in until I had a child, and I realized I could breastfeed. Oh wait, this is a thing. And I didn't know there was a lack of knowledge or information for my community about breastfeeding. So that's how I ended up going that direction.
That's beautiful. It's so true. It's so true. I have to agree with you. I have to agree with you on all points. That's amazing. And Alika, please do share as well on your side.
Trying to keep a long story short. I'm your senior, so my story goes back a few decades.
I love it.
When I first had my first, and he's 27, so that's 27 years ago. And I didn't have the support. I didn't have social media or anyone to pull from. I struggled a lot with him. So yeah, he was only fed for about six weeks at the breast with some help from one nurse in the hospital. And there was no one at home, that breastfed. I'm straight from projects, and I was the only girl in my whole project that I knew that was breastfeeding. So when I had the difficulties, I went to the pediatrician, and the pediatrician pretty much told me just to stop. There's nothing he can do. The milk I'm feeding my baby's making him sick. So I got to stop breastfeeding and give him formula. And he was very, very sick. He lost a lot of weight, failure to thrive. And it ended up he was misdiagnosed with pyloric stenosis. So he always had projectile vomiting. But they said it was my milk that was doing it. But he had a true disorder. So after learning that, after researching something made me want to know more about that from struggling with him. But it took me 9 years to get the strength to even want to have another child, because it was very traumatic for me. So there was a lot of push for it. I was a teen mom as well. I had my son at 17. So I was a teen mom, and there was no support for teen mom. You're a teenager, you want to be going to have this baby, we're going to make you suffer, type of thing. So I had a lot of suffering. And so when I got pregnant with my second son 9 years later, I was not in Brooklyn in New York anymore. I was upstate New York, and I met a few white ladies who took me under their wing and kind of showed me a lot about natural childbirth and breastfeeding. And they were part of Lactation. And so,
oh yeah, that's a big one. Oh wow.
I was supported throughout that whole pregnancy through Lactation. I did Lamar's classes. I learned everything about my body, how things work. And then once I gave birth to my second son naturally, I was able to breastfeed him successfully, and they came to my house. They really just held my hand, and I just wanted to give back. And so I began doing a teen mom focus group from there, volunteering with them. Did a teen mom focus group that I meet with the moms once a month, and then they put me on a stipend and asked to pay me, keep me regular. And then I worked with crisis pregnancy, moms that were having abortions and not knowing where to go, kind of helping to counsel them, not as thinking that abortion is their only option or adoption and things like that. And that was all in Herkimer, New York. And I did that for a few years, maybe 5 years, but never thinking that lactation would be my field, because I was working in law. I was a legal secretary at the time. So I never think about lactation being a job. And then when I came to Florida, I went over to WIC, kind of seeing what the services they offer there, because I was on WIC in New York. So I came to Florida for WIC, and I heard about the peer counselor program. It's about 15 years ago. And they told me about the program, and I wanted to be part of that program. So I came in as a volunteer, but still not willing to kind of look into it as a job. Just coming into volunteer, see how I can help, because I was already doing that in New York. And then they offered me a paid position, and said I could bring my son. So I said it's a no-brainer. And that's when my lactation career started.
Oh, wow. That was immensely inspirational in itself. Wow. Like I always forget that my mom, I'm 29. Yeah, 29. So same time my mom kind of went through the same with me because, there was a lack of support back then. And of course, and I always say this to my mom, is like, you didn't have Google to just be like, well, what does this do? How do I do this?
Yeah.
So it was harder back then. So another thing I always stress, not to like put anyone down, but it's like the fact that we now have all of these resources at the touch of a finger or a call. We should utilize them. And I love how you guys like really put in effort and utilize them full force. And I was actually sad because right after I had my second, they had the peer program at WIC. I was introduced to it. I signed up for it. And then right when they were like trying to do the applications, they cut off the thing. Because I also wanted to do it. Because I saw in my community that my friends were struggling and they didn't know what was going on. And my first was just an easy baby. So nursing her was nothing. But I know I had weird, strange problems with Athena. I know Tiffany knows she wouldn't eat until she was 2 years old. I was having sore nipples and things like that. And it's like my friends would go through things, or not even just that. She wouldn't eat and she would nurse 1,000 hours a day. And Tiffany put my mind at ease and was like, she's fine. She needs to nurse a ton of times. It's fine. You've got the milk there. Let her do it. And like, I sat back. I was like, okay. But I know my friends went through the same thing and they thought that was abnormal. And they didn't have the support that I had with knowing that this was normal. This is okay. I still think it was crazy that she wouldn't eat until she was 2 years old. But Tiffany assured me she was quite the healthy baby. Now she eats everything. So, it's like we do need that support. And, it's true, like not having someone that looks like you, it doesn't always affect you greatly, but it's nice to have someone. It makes it like different, especially you being so young. I was like, oh my God. I remember the first time I met you, I was like, oh my God, she's so young. This is amazing. And you were having, our children were about to be the same age and stuff like that. I was like, oh, this is amazing. Someone like me, So that it did affect me in that way without even realizing it. Because that is true. That's the first thing I thought about you. And your beautiful locks. Yeah. You're welcome. So tell me more about what y'all told me why you started the lactation consultant, but tell me more about your individual parts in your businesses, like the doula section. Just like give me a little brief on the doula and the lactation consultant now.
Okay, so we do a lot.
I know that's right.
Let me see what. Okay, so we have a contract with a local birth center. And with that local birth center, we see the postpartum moms. We make sure they're breastfeeding as well. We offer breastfeeding classes to the prenatal class parent mommies. We also offer support groups. There's 2 locations. One is in DeLand, one is in College Park. College Park, we have weekly mom support. And on every other Tuesday, first and third Tuesday of the month, we have support in DeLand. And at that support, we build our own tribe, making sure the moms are okay. If they're tired, if they're crying, if they're tired, we have beds so they can stay and sleep while we watch their babies. We talk to them and make sure they know that it's okay if they are having latching issues and things like that. So we're there for support weekly and bi-weekly at DeLand. We also have a contract with the health department where we are working with Seminole County, making sure businesses and daycares are breastfeeding friendly. So we do tours in their location. We make sure their place is breastfeeding friendly. If they have like a room, we give them free resources. We get them certified, and we help promote that business by saying they are a breastfeeding friendly location. We also go to high schools and giving the high school counselors free resources for their students to make sure they have support with WIC as well as breastfeeding. If they're teen moms, um, if they are if they are teen moms, we make sure that
they know how to reach us.
They know how to reach us. We offer a lot of support with teen moms.
Yeah.
Whether it's free or very discounted doula services and breastfeeding services, we don't even talk to them about money because we want to make sure they are okay.
Right.
And we also offer free classes to the community. It was at a Sanford library, but we're now doing it at different locations. But we do free classes to the community of childbirth education if they're with clients and if they're Seminole County.
And the health department automatically feeds to us, so they send us all their lactation clients and prenatal clients. We automatic feed for the health department.
Yes, we have the contract with the health department. We are doing it as a team. So the health department is gives us some resources as well as we create our own resources and the support. And we just have the health department as our support. As a co-signer, basically.
And they send us everybody who doesn't qualify for WIC. Yeah. They automatically refer to us. And even if she is on WIC and she needs support, they send them to our support group.
Yes.
We are on their resource directory as the lactation support group in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So we come out to as many locations we can. We try to open it up, and it's open to the public. So even with the birth centers that we are contracted with, a mom doesn't have to birth with them to come to the support group. It's open to the public, and it's free.
Yeah.
So the support on a weekly basis, bi-weekly basis is free.
It's free.
We don't charge for that.
No. And
as far as the doula services, we are doulas. We're not contracted with anyone. We are open.
Yeah.
So anyone can refer to us for doula clients, prenatal and postpartum. Tiffany is specializing in the prenatal. I'm more the postpartum.
Wow.
So we're trying to do our thing. We just want people to know we are here for them.
Yep.
There are specialists that look like you out there, and you have access to them. So we're trying to just get our name, household name, so people will know how to find us.
Oh my gosh, y'all do everything.
Yeah, we do. We also have we are also connecting with a lot of businesses in Seminole County where we are offering. We just signed up the the homeless shelter in Sanford, and with that, we're also in the process of trying to set up a support group for the homeless moms and families. That they understand that they're there, and that we're here for them to help for them. We are noticing is a big need in the Sanford area, so eventually that would be our base. So we're really trying to work with our community with education because we understand that a lot of women that look like us, they don't breastfeed because of lack of information, believing what your family, your mommy didn't do it, then you can't do it, and we're trying to break those generational curses, right? So we're definitely. Our main base is Sanford for sure. So yeah, I think that's it. Some more.
Wow. I understand now why you said that you have to kind of put it as Central Florida because y'all are literally everywhere. I see why y'all are literally everywhere. Wow, and y'all do everything. Oh my goodness. There is really y'all are setting a standard here that I hope is followed more places because
we hope it's contagious.
Yeah, exactly. Contagious. That's a perfect way to put it because it's so much information out there and it is hard to consume it all by yourself. It is, we don't have the support we should have because it's to me, it's strange that only about 50, 60 years ago did we really start using formula, but yet it's the norm now.
Now everybody does it.
Yeah, and it's our grandparents breastfed, they had no choice.
Right.
But now we're boobs, what is that? And scared or nervous and,
Now if you breastfeed, it's why are you breastfeeding? why? But we definitely, with our support, especially with our support, we make sure that we let them know it's okay to go past 1 year. It's okay, to breastfeed in public. We give them the information. If they have any issues or concerns, especially with their job, we make sure we give them the
The
laws of
law,
the state of
yeah.
Florida. We make sure they are equipped.
Then we try to come out to the jobs and talk to them
And we
about
go to the
how
jobs.
can we help you
Right.
make this more practical for your employees.
And we'll
Wow.
certify the company. We'll certify the businesses to help them know.
Y'all have your hands in stuff I'd never even thought about when it came to supporting a breastfeeding mom. Y'all have so much going on with that. It's amazing to me. Like going to the businesses, promoting daycares like that. I never thought of, and that gives you more business. And then your connections with the health department, like that is amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
We're definitely grateful for that because we both worked with the health department, and after we left, they made sure we still connected. They know what we do, and they support us everything that we do.
Anything we need,
everything. And another thing that we do is that we've been going to events. A lot of events that we go to is mainly Black centered. And we go to these events, whether it's a hair event, head wrap event, whatever it is, we go there and set up a table just to give out the information because a lot of people don't think of that. And there's always maybe one or two moms that's in there pregnant, and we just talk to them. Mm-hmm. Have you thought about breastfeeding? What about a doula? And we just talk to them, and they didn't know that this is available.
Right.
So we are really trying to make sure our community, community is covered. So we go to events, whether it's it could be any type of event.
Right.
We will be there.
5Ks.
We did
amazing.
We did a hair sheet grows. We're doing a hair sheet grows event this Sunday.
A
sip and shop, yeah. So we really, and it's just we offer just free resources. We're not trying to charge anybody at these events. As far as when we set up a table, we give out our flyers, our business cards, our support groups. Where we let our community know that this is available. And a lot of the moms that we meet, they say they didn't know this existed.
I didn't. Not all this good stuff y'all are doing. I didn't know that. Wow.
And then, we're also in the process right now of working with prisons and county jails. The moms who are pregnant, we're in the process of trying to
get in there and
to
become their doulas while they give birth in prison.
And breastfeeding to see if we can help them educate the moms about breastfeeding while they're in there, and if they are able to have their babies in there for a certain amount of time to make sure that breastfeeding is stable before they are separated.
And even the prison workers getting them situated where they'll have access to pumping rooms.
Yeah,
because that's a really big problem right now. The COs, they don't have access to pumping stations, most of them.
Yeah. So
we're trying to get into the prison systems to be that support, to educate the wardens about how they can support their lactating employees as well as the prisoners themselves. Because prisoners, they do have rights.
Yes.
Wow, that is so major. I like that y'all. I like to point out something that y'all were talking about with the being at the vending, being a vendor at different events. I was talking to somebody about that the other day. It's like that's one way to get your name out there is you have to go be a vendor at these events. And I like how you said y'all go to like basically everywhere because women are there, pregnant women are there, women that have pregnant friends, family, maybe their daughter's pregnant.
Oh, my friend is pregnant. My friend is pregnant, and I'm gonna give her this card. Yeah, give her my card.
Oh, that's beautiful.
All of that.
That is amazing. I want to, if we could elaborate on that, I'm skipping down a few questions, but if we could elaborate on other ways that you all promote the business. I know y'all just named like 150. If y'all have any other ones that you didn't mention.
We have our Instagram. We're working on our social media, but we do say things on our social media, like Instagram and Facebook about the things that we do. And support. Like I said, we are contracted with the local birth center. So the birth center also promotes what we have as far as the classes goes on their business websites. And we go to we do events. We wear our shirts at random places. And yeah, our biggest thing is and we are I forgot, we also are we just got a not a contract but a setup to where we're going to be doing a we're going to be setting up a table at the Goldsboro farmers market.
Farmers. Oh,
It's a farm in Sanford, and it's a weekly event, but we're going to be up there maybe once or twice a month, and that's going to be in Goldsboro. So we do a lot of table, like a lot of vending things, and for the most part, thankfully, we don't have to because we are doing a free services. Most of the events allow us to come to support just because we're offering the support out to the community.
oh, that's a nice. I didn't even know that. That's a nice thing to put in there because some people might be able to take advantage of that as well if they have something to do, if they're giving similar services. You know, if somebody is drawn to that as well. I didn't know that. So that's really, really good. Wow. So that's you're teaching me so much new stuff today. Like I'm loving it right now. So would you mind elaborating? I know you guys left WIC and y'all wanted to start your family and give support. Are there any other reasons that y'all wanted to start branching off by yourselves the way y'all did?
Um, it's a lot.
Well, when you work for WIC, you work for the government,
Right.
so your hands are tied. There's a limited of stuff you can do and say. So you are restricted. So now that we are independent, WIC can kind of work through us, and we can help them the way they're helping us because we can support them by getting their events out and their services out in ways they couldn't do it because they can't post on social media.
Right.
They
right.
can't do certain things that we can do.
Right.
So we're able to get things out for them that they wasn't able to do.
And we also help WIC by giving clients. If we have a client that who cannot afford our services, we see if they qualify for WIC, and if they do, we refer them to WIC because we don't want to. We don't. We set ourselves on with honesty. So if we don't want to take money from someone who can't afford it but
Right.
needs the help. So of
Right.
course we will help them the best way we can. But if they need more help, then we will transfer them to WIC. And we're really close with the IBCLC there. So we have a good connection to where we offer each other our services back and forth.
Wow. Y'all have my mind blown, like everything that you guys say. I didn't even take that into account that y'all are restricted because of the government. And it makes sense because anybody that knows anything about the government, that does make sense. Y'all can't say and do certain things.
Yeah.
And you're benefiting that. I didn't even know y'all were, giving them benefits on top of,
Yeah.
now that y'all work. I see why they're like, oh yeah, we're here. We're here. Y'all are helping us help people. I love it. I love it. What steps did you guys take to branch away from WIC and start this business that you all have, Your Bold Birth?
Well, for Alika, of course she's gonna tell more, but she already had her lactation business, and so when I left WIC with my second child because I breastfeed, for um, and so with me breastfeeding them, I branched off, and when I branched off, I worked with her, but then we grew, of course, as friends, but as well as business, we grew because we met a lot of moms who asked us, "Are you doulas? Are you doulas?" Because they look like us, but they didn't know who to reach out. So then we realized that in our community there was a high demand, as well as our women sisters that look like us, they're dying. And the lack of support, the lack of knowledge, it's just a lot that's happening in our Black community. So when we decided that we was going to do this together, just so we could give it out to our community, because we are in that community. So she already had her lactation business.
Oh wow.
Oh
Anything
yeah.
you'd like to elaborate?
No, well, yeah, I've always had my independent business on the side. Even when I was with Wick, I started out once I became certified as an IBCOC 6 years ago, 6, 7. I decided that I needed to do more in the community because it wasn't enough. Like you said, there's no black IBCOCs in here unless they are in WIC. There were three of us in WIC. We were all in WIC. And in order to reach our moms who didn't qualify for WIC, one of us had to get privatized. Yeah. So because I was the only one there that wasn't a full-time employee with the health department, I decided that it would be me. Yeah. Because I didn't work for health department, full-time. I was kind of per diem. So it wasn't hard for me to branch off and to branch out into the private sector because it was needed. So when I talk to the other IBCs there, we always get together and say, a lot of our moms need the help outside of WIC, but our hands are tied. We need to get into the hospital. We need to go into the hospital and see them in the hospital. So that was the whole goal, because when you see them at WIC, they already left the hospital with so many problems. Right.
Yes.
Yes. We need to get in the hospital to avoid that from happening. So how can we do that? And you can't do that working for WIC here in Florida. Right. You can't go into the hospital and say, I work for WIC, I want to help you. So I had to get into the private sector in order to do that, in order to reach the moms before they get the crack nipples, before they get the nipple shield, before they get the formula. I had to get on the private side of things. So that was my motivation. Get certified so I can get into the hospitals to see these moms. As soon as they deliver, get that baby on the breast, and get things going in the right direction. And then when we decided that, the health disparities in our community is just ridiculous, that our moms are just dying, no one's listening to them, no one's advocating for them. We said we have to become doulas. We have to be that mediator for them. We have to be that voice for them. Yeah. We have to be there at the birth. We have to be there before the birth. We have to reach them, educate them and enlighten them before they even, give birth, so that they'll know these things before it comes up and it won't be too late. Right. So that's when we decided to do the whole doula side of things, just to help fill that gap that is still there in our community with the medical systems and the providers nowadays. Yeah.
Trust, it's funny that y'all speak on it. I always share my story with people. I was, a young mom myself in the hospital with my husband, and I didn't have a doula or anything. It was just me and my husband, but I was very hell-bent on having my daughter naturally. I did not have medication. However, they give you no respect. You're a young black mom in the hospital. So it was, I was dealing with my contractions fine, walked into the hospital, anxiety spiked, pain spiked. And I'm like, I'm fine. I don't want medication. And they keep pushing it. Apparently, years later, I find out they were actually trying to convince my husband to get me to do the medication. And my oldest did end in a C-section, only because they kept pressing. Yeah, I didn't want it, and they kept being like, "Oh, the first thing they told me when I got in the L&D, the L&D room, they were like, "Oh, well, new time moms take 3 hours to push," and I was like, "That's fine. I don't want medication." And oh, well, you're almost at 7 centimeters. Okay, I don't want medications. Oh, but you can't have this. Oh, but you can't have that. Then they starve you, and then they tell you the baby is not doing well, and I think they even slipped Pitocin into my IV because the pain went from what I feel was normal, what I experienced with my home birth, to something outrageous, and I still didn't have medication. Yep. And I wish now, knowing what a doula is now, because I don't think 10 years ago doulas were really well known like that. I didn't see it like I see it now. Everybody's
not in our community. No,
that's what it is.
Unless you had private insurance, like platinum private insurance, you didn't know about it. Yeah, you didn't know about it.
So now I'm understanding. Like I like to tell people, because I didn't realize a doula is actually someone that can stand up for you in the hospital. So a lot of people are afraid of home birth, but don't realize the options we have in the hospital. Right. And they basically they didn't try. I wasn't scared into having I don't know how to put it. They tried to scare me into having the C-section. I was like, no. Yeah, exactly. Your baby's gonna die. Her heart rate is dipping. I'm stressed out because you're probably put this stuff in my thing. I was having a contraction. The doctor came in and said, I'm breaking your water. Wait, I'm having a contraction. I'm breaking your water, and takes that long hook, pop, and I'm sitting there like shook. And then later on, I found out that's birth, nothing.
No consent.
Like literally, that's how it happened. Like he literally just came in and said, this is what I'm doing. And then like forced my legs apart and stuck that hook up there. And now I find out that's medical, what do they call it? Medical rape or like I didn't know that 10 years ago, even though I did know I didn't want to have any medication. And then my husband just kind of came and was like, I don't want anything to happen to you and the baby. So now I was stuck between,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? I really wasn't worried like that. But then it was like, you put in this aspect now, you know, my husband is sitting there like basically in tears. You know what I mean? And that's what they do. But a doula is somebody that has that medical background that knows, hey, y'all are doing too much. Leave her alone.
It's especially when the doctors come in and the doctors will tell the moms a certain information, and the mom doesn't understand the medical.
Well, she's not supposed to, because everybody doesn't study medical terminology.
So we're there to say what he's saying is this, and are you okay with that? And then we don't make their decision, but we make sure they understand,
so they can make a well-informed decision.
Right. So
exactly.
We're their supporters, we're their advocates, we're their voice. If they're if they're in so much pain and they don't understand, we'll let them know, or talk to them, make sure they know.
Hold on, give her a minute. She's having a contraction. Let me make sure that I reiterate this for her in layman's terms, so she understands what you're trying to say.
Right.
Because they come at you at the wrong time, at the wrong
and they'll
moment.
say, do you want
you
this?
to sign these papers,
right.
And you can't even comprehend what's going on at the moment.
So we're there to make sure the mom's voice is heard. We're going to be there. We're their cheerleaders. If mom doesn't want certain people in the room, we'll help her to make sure she has the support she needs. We want to make sure she gets the birth that she deserves.
That's right.
So important. It's so important because, again, just sharing, like trying to like let people understand what is so important about doulas. Being a young mother, I was very headstrong. I still am. I know what I want. I know what I want to do. I knew how I wanted things to happen. And there was that slip up, but I was never afraid. I was never scared. But after having those things happen, I've become very fearful. I can't even go into the hospital for a friend without having anxiety over it.
Yeah.
So it's like you're basically like, it is a form of rape or whatever they call it, medical rape, where they just kind of force you to do certain things. And I wish I would have had them. My husband was there. My husband was like, you know, rubbing my head and helping me feel better, rubbing my back and, you know, telling the nurses, hey, she's fine. But it's like, it's different because he didn't know that other side, to not be fearful for us, where I was like, I know what I'm doing. For some reason, I feel like I know what I'm doing. And I wish I had that second person. But go to my second birth, I had it at home with a midwife. My midwife bought her assistants, 2 of them. They were doulas. I was cared for like a queen.
Yeah,
they were feeding me, hand feeding me, here watering me. They were rubbing my back. My husband was there. Like, you know what I mean? They had the pool ready. I was like in amazement, doing back things, doing
the celebration.
Yes.
You're supposed to be pampered. You are.
Yes.
And we make sure that you got that
you're supposed to smell good and feel good, and
we make sure that the dad is there. If mom wants dad to be supportive, dad is really confused sometimes. So we talk to dad
to take care of him as well,
and direct him to make sure he's okay, to know that you're okay. So
that too, yes.
Yeah.
That too. That would have been very helpful because, like I said, and it's funny because the same issue I wasn't progressing at 7 centimeters, I had with my second. But instead of my midwife freaking out and being like, let's go to the hospital, she sat there very calm. She didn't give me any reason to feel nervous. You know, she was one of those people, you tell me when you need me. You let me know when you need something. She sat back. My husband kind of took it at first as like they basically didn't do anything at first. Yeah, but you're not supposed to bother the mom.
Yeah.
You're supposed to like let her be and say, hey, do you need me? And he wasn't opposed. He wasn't one of those men that were opposed to the home birth. The only thing he was worried about, he was like, but what about the food? Because at Winnie Palmer, he was used to the room stores. But when he saw that he had the freedom of his whole house while his wife was laboring, and then he wasn't stressed out by nurses, he was like, oh, okay. This is like 10 times, you know what I mean? Like, we don't realize. And I had a friend that had this similar experience with her boyfriend and their second child having a home birth. He was like, oh, this is so much easier. Mike, I can sleep in my own bed at the end of this. So it's like, it's very important, like, that we have that service to us, regardless to where you birth. Regardless to where you birth. Because I literally am traumatized from my hospital birth. Absolutely. And I can't understand how people can think that it's normal to go through all that.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. And birth in the most, and they even force you to be in the bed. I got up at one point after the breaking of my water. There was meconium in my water. So the nurse had to clean me up. Then I was able to go to the bathroom. Yeah. When I sat on the bathroom on the toilet, earlier that day I had been laboring on the toilet, and the laboring on the toilet helped.
Yes.
So I sat there and I was like, oh my God, these contractions are going to, I can breathe now. And then hear the nurse, ma'am, you have to get back on the monitors. Mm-hmm. Get back on the bed. So now I have to be Yeah, they have to, and they don't even let you birth properly. Like, I got 12 hours in the hospital. And they make you on your back and all this, like, it's like so stressful. This is like a little educational side of birthing podcast. I'm all here for it. I want everybody to have the knowledge, because now I can spread what you guys are trying to do even more. So I'm here for all the knowledge that y'all have to give, and anything that I can interject and know and show people how important you guys really are. I didn't have breastfeeding issues like most women do. My breastfeeding issues were more of a over demanding baby versus a baby that wasn't thriving or whatever like that. But I still needed that support. Yes. I still needed that somebody telling me it's okay. I used to come there like, she's eating 8 hours consistently all day long. I don't know. I can't tell you how many times she nurses. It's all day. And it's like, yeah. And I noticed that my friends, when I first started nursing my second, the first time she nursed was for a whole hour. And I remember thinking, is this normal? No wonder women think that they don't have enough milk. Because at one point when she was like 6 months old, my boobs felt flat, but she was getting something because she was the fattest baby ever.
The issue is that for the most part, that when that happens, a lot of people, we're so busy we got to get up, we got to go. No, sit down, relax, and connect with your child, and just don't care about the world. Just breastfeed for that hour and be fine. But we have that mindset. We have to, the baby's not nursing enough. Oh, but I got to go somewhere. I have to do this. I have to do that. And
very good point.
Just relax. And it's just focus on and that's the benefit of having a postpartum doula, that when that first week or first month, that we make sure you taking care of you and the baby, while if you have another child or if you want to eat, postpartum doula, we make sure you are okay. But just focus on baby and you. That's the biggest important thing. That's the most important thing after birth, that we have that disconnect with.
I never even thought about that part the way you just explained it, because I know a lot of women, I always stress to a lot of women, like, store your milk if you're going back to work in a certain way. And everybody is like you just said, instead of them, when they are home with the baby, being like, okay, let me just sit and nurse and let the world go to this wayside. They're like, oh, I need to get a milk. I'm tired. I have to go do this. So here's a bottle. Now you've done 3 bottles in a day, where that could have been 3 bottles. And then when you get to work, all of a sudden now you're trying to keep up with the baby drinking because you have no supply left over. You have, because you were in this mentality. Yes, some women have to do that. Not knocking anyone. I don't want anyone to feel like, oh, you are a bad person because of this. But there are people that are home that are stressed out, that they're like, oh, just give the baby a bottle. And then they don't have, that supply later. Or, they're like, oh, the baby's not nursing enough because I can't tell what's coming out of my breast. Well, is the baby peeing? Is the baby using the bath, voiding in her diaper? Okay, so then the baby's fine.
Right. Right.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know, like you said, they don't know that information, or they do and they still get stressed out about it. Because I just remember every time I would have those times, her, what do you call it? Her growth spurts were the most intense growth spurts. I'm pretty sure I like fussed about it when I was there one time. She would nurse consistently for like it must have been a week straight. I never had her off my breast, and it was so stressful because I said to myself, if I didn't know she was okay, I would be one of those moms. If I couldn't go to Tiffany and say, Tiffany, she will not come off my breast for 3 days straight and I can't sleep, and you saying, but that's normal. Because you told me, you're like, some babies go a couple of days, like my oldest, and then some do a week or two. And I was like, okay, so, and good enough, sure enough, once that week or two was up, she was fine. But we don't always have that, or, you know, we don't have that easy connection with that person. It's like we have to jump through hoops to get to them. And it's like I was blessed to have that. How do you balance, because I know y'all do a lot, how are y'all balancing work and family time?
It looks different every day. You know, there's no perfect balance, and that's the whole thing. Moms need to understand that things are always. You're gonna have good days. You're gonna have bad days. You're gonna have days when things just don't make no sense. Days.
Yeah.
Don't lose hope. We all go through it. There's no formula. I can't give you a formula on how it's gonna work. You know, when you're trying to start your own business and be a mompreneur, it's not going to be those rainbows and unicorns. It's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to come at you.
And then we have the good days that's so overwhelming because it's so good.
Yes. It's like, is this real?
How did this happen?
So much opportunity, so much things are just happening. Like, what is going on? Yeah. And usually it just comes to you. Bam, bam, bam in threes, you know? And then you have those days where the rain just won't stop.
Yeah.
You know, but you just have to understand at the end of the day,
you can adjust.
You're doing it. The reasons that you're doing what you're doing. You know, there's going to the positive things that do come with it. Even if you have that rainy day, there's going to be that one mom who's going to call you, so it's going to make your whole week. Like, you're going to have that one moment that's going to make it all worth it. Yeah. So there's no formula about how to get started, how to get out there. You just got to do it. And then sometimes you may have to just fall back. Say, all right, I need to take a little couple of weeks off and just rely. You know, you have a partner you can rely on, but like, well, you can't make these next 3 events. I got you, you know. Yeah. And they make the next 3. You give a break. It's tag out on each other. Tag you in. I need to fall back for a minute because, you know, we have children, we have lives, so anything can happen. So when you have that partner, you don't have to feel that you got to be everywhere and do everything. You can't do it alone. Don't try to do it alone. Yeah. Have a support system, just like with being a mother. Have that support system. As long as you have a good support system, you can get through anything. It's all about the support.
I love how you pointed out that it's not always, you know, easy. It's up and down because we need to know that that's normal and that's okay. Yeah. Because sometimes I know I'm overwhelmed some days that I want to do so much and I feel like I'm a bad mom or I didn't give enough to one thing or my children. So it's good to know that sometimes it's like, that's okay. The next day will be better because I do have those days as well that are like, oh my God, this is amazing. So glad I'm doing this. Oh, we've gotten through so many. So, what are the long-term goals with this? Or, I mean, I know y'all expressed that y'all are just trying to branch out. Are there any other long-term goals that y'all have in mind?
We want to have a business front in Sanford.
A brick and mortar.
Yeah, we want to have something in Sanford to where it's like a clinic that we helping teen moms and moms. Yeah. And babies. That's one big thing that we want. We want to do we want to make sure we're in the prisons, in the county jails.
And we can inspire and mentor other Black women to do the same thing in their community.
Because it's needed.
That's number one.
Yeah.
Because we can't be everywhere. We don't want to be everywhere. I know I don't want to be everywhere. Yeah. I've been trying to get Tiffany here for a long time. Too many moms for my one self.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Are y'all going to open up, like how WIC had the peer-to-peer program where you open up doors for people to become doulas or at least push it? Because I know you're always sharing information on how to be a doula, how to be a midwife assistant and things like that. Are y'all going to open that up on for you guys?
Yes, that as well as not even just doulas. Just we also have a lot of our like we're partnering with a lot of women of color that are chiropractors, massage therapists.
Open up a whole resource network.
Therapist,
mental health counseling.
So we go to if we have moms or we have a yoga instructor, so we have that connection to where we have our other friends that will come and see the moms if they need it, or
it'll be a whole wellness collective.
Yeah, we have mental therapist, we have therapists, we have everything really.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're very connected. So if we have a mom who needs something, we know who to direct them to.
Can I make a inquiry / suggestion? I didn't hear you mention it, but I know you're vegetarian, vegan.
Yes.
Tiffany. So as also a vegan, as a Black woman, as you know, in this time where it's becoming a bigger thing, are y'all gonna branch out? Are y'all gonna have that as well? Because I know as Black women,
we have it.
It's y'all have nutritionists.
Yes, our yoga
nutritionists.
Yeah, our
prenatal nutrition counseling.
Yeah,
we're gonna be having nutrition counseling.
Yeah, we have that. And including our yoga instructor who is a vegan as well. So if she comes with a package as well. We definitely talk to them about food.
Yeah, so our doula
we need that.
Offer them in a package. We have a package where we offer the doula clients prenatal nutrition counseling with prenatal and postpartum massage, chiropractic care, and mental health.
Yeah, all of that is in our package.
That is the most amazing birth situation I have ever heard. That needs to be a normal thing. That just needs to be a thing, period.
Yeah.
Because I had chiropractic care, pregnancy, and I didn't have it after. I didn't have massages and things like that. Is amazing. And mental health is important so we can nip the prenatal, the postpartum depression in the bud. Absolutely. That is so important. And I was mentioning the vegan thing too, because a lot of times I keep hearing in these groups that women are told pregnancy and being vegan or vegetarian is dangerous. Nursing a baby, vegan, vegetarian is bad. And it's like, I've done both. I was vegetarian with my first, and I was basically vegan with my second. But it's like, I noticed that this one was so much healthier. My milk was fattier or something. I don't know if that made a difference, but obviously has nothing to do with anything, but we need more support in that area, I've noticed.
For our doula packages, depending on what package they want, we also offer like a vegan vegetarian
meal plan.
That is perfect. Okay, so any words of wisdom for people that want to be in the birth work, doulas, lactation consultants, anything, any words of wisdom whatsoever?
My suggestion is volunteer. Become a volunteer first. Then you will know if you truly have that passion, because anyone can do a job, but this type of line of work, you got to have a passion for it, because you're not going to, we're not making millions of dollars. You're not in this for the money.
Your family.
So if you're going into this for the money, you're in the wrong business.
Right.
Volunteer. Give yourself time to get hands-on training. You can't learn this stuff from books. Books can't teach you this.
Right.
So volunteering at places like the WIC office, the health departments, crisis pregnancy, Lactation, those places is where I gained all my knowledge from. Yeah. Studying, I didn't even read a book. I took the test straight off head because of all the hands-on I had. Mm-hmm. You have nurses that take those exams and don't pass. But the hands-on that I had is what prepared me for that exam, that board exam. So if you can get exposure is you're gonna be well off if you can get exposure in this field. Like when working with the midwives, I birth assisted. I've done all those things, but that was give me the knowledge, like just being in it. Not a book can't teach you this,
right?
And if you're going in it for the money, you need to do something else.
Wow, that makes sense. I mean, in any business, a lot of people will tell you to start off giving your services for free in some form. So that makes sense, and I like how you elaborated on where, because I really, besides WIC, because they offered it there, I didn't know you could go to these other places and volunteer. That makes so much more sense. That makes so much more sense. Okay.
After you volunteer for some time, they see your face they will then start asking if you want to
Can
work
I
with
pay
them.
you? Can I pay you to stay on?
Yeah.
Can you do more hours? And
Yeah.
And also, you build clientele that way initially,
Yes. They're gonna
or
have more
you
babies.
exactly. And people like, I know her. My friend needs a lactation consultant, a doula, whatever, and they're gonna give word of mouth. And like you said, like Lika was branching out from before you already had your lactation consultant when you first started at WIC. So that's amazing. Okay, wow, that's just good information in general. What are your favorite? I know. What are your favorite media to consume to keep you guys updated on things, to keep you guys learning more, podcasts, books, audiobooks? What do you guys like to consume?
It's so many of them for me. It's so many. Birth tube, Mafa.
I like Donor International. Donor International, they have a lot of resources for doulas.
Yeah.
Is that a website?
Yeah, Donor, it's Donor DONA International. They are a doula certification program, but they kind of like one of the first ones out there. So a lot of new doula programs pull from them. I like some of their resources that they have on there.
I like Jenny Joseph's Jenny Joseph, her website and her Facebook. She has a lot of information. She's been doing a lot of interviews and things like that.
I follow ILCA, ILCA, International Lactation Consultants of America. I follow them.
There's a lot of them.
And I like Twitter. Twitter's my favorite social media.
To share, because it's a lot of sharing of the links and things like that.
The links and all the conferences that are going on, or the webinars that are going on. I can catch most of that on Twitter. So I like.
See, I didn't even know that. I did not even know that. But Twitter does have a lot of sharing. That's the original reason I even started to go on Twitter years ago, was because that's how you find out about events and things that were going on, people tagging things and things like that. So that's good to know. I didn't know that was a resource as well. You just taught me something new in that one. So last but not least, how can people find you guys on social media? And I will link everything in the information in the show notes.
Instagram is Your Bold Birth. YOURBOLDBIRTH.
And Twitter, Bold Birth on Twitter.
IG and Twitter.
Yep.
And
do you have a Facebook?
And Facebook. We have the lactation group on Facebook right now. We're working on Your Bold Birth, but on Twitter, on Facebook, you can follow us on Leakers Leaking Ladies.
That's it.
And that's a private group for just moms.
But that's for private groups and moms that are in our group.
Yeah.
So it's not really open to the public, but it is, but it's not.
Of course, you'd have to screen people first.
You have to screen them, yes, before they get approved.
Okay. Any other social media things that y'all like to put in, or anything else y'all would like to add to that? A website? Do you have a website yet?
We're working on the website.
Okay. Just want to make sure I get everything linked. If y'all have anything, I don't want to miss anything.
We're
awesome.
Really more, because for us, we're more out in the community. I'm not a social media person. So we're working on the social media part, but we do the work. It's just promoting it is the hard part on social media.
It is a lot. I know personally, from personal experience, it is a lot, because there's lots of things to post and repost and tag and things like that. So I understand where you're coming from there. Not a problem.
Everybody see you active, and all the messages start coming in.
Yeah.
Ain't it the truth? Ain't it the truth? Awesome. Well, is there any last words of wisdom in general you'd like to give to my listeners whatsoever, in general, about birth, doula, your business, or starting a business?
Our saying is, it is your birth, be bold with it.
I like that.
So
I
we
like
have
that.
to be bold with what you want, whatever you desire, because you deserve it.
I love that so much. Well, it was amazing having this conversation with you two. I am so glad y'all took time out of your day for me, and I really appreciate it. And I hope my listeners learned like a ton. I know I learned a ton. I thought I knew stuff before I had this conversation with you guys, but I learned so much today, and I really appreciate it. And thank you guys for listening. Make sure you rate and review my podcast if you liked it, and make sure you share this on social media, you guys. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Raising Bosses podcast. I hope you enjoyed, and please tell your friends and family. Go ahead and share this podcast on social media. If you or someone you know would like to be a part of this podcast, please email us at raisingbosses@gmail.com, or you could DM us on all our social medias, our Raising Bosses on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you and goodbye.